I have been coping with clinical depression and anxiety for a number of years now, and the realization came to me very recently. Writing has helped me clarify a lot of aspects of dealing with depression on a regular basis. So, one thing I hear quite frequently is my condition is a flight of fancy. Since depressive conditions or psychological or psychiatric conditions don't often show up on reports or x-rays, one always says that this is a luxury that one can snap out of. This is a serious medical condition that needs treatment, because of which people can also function normally and lead a full life. What is off gravitas is when one forgets a work meeting. That has happened to me. Either I forget what time it is at, or I forget that it's ever there. And in my previous work situation where the conditions were uncharitable, I often was in the dock because of that, and very often people started excluding me from meetings. But now that I'm in a place of work where people really respect me despite who I am, I employ a sense of levity there as well. So I tell people, look, you know what my memory is like. Please send me a calendar invite or a reminder, or call me or send me a text message. I really employ the good graces of other people to help me out, and that comes with really being honest with yourself and with the other person. And guess what? 9 times out of 10 people are laughing with me and not at me. They say they've been there. So when you hear that, there is a great sense of reassurance that you're not in a freak show, right? This is normal. There's often a sense of uncertainty about your day, right? Which is, you don't know how you will function as a component of your day. So when I was having my breakdown, I literally had to work through it and lead my life through it. But I would often wake up sweating and with an irregular or a very quick heartbeat, and I would tell myself, I can't face this day. But then I found, I cobbled together insights from a lot of people that cared about me, and I found that if I had a routine that I had somewhat of a control over, then at least that part of my day would be accounted for. Sometimes when you're in the depths of a depressive phase or episode, then even making a cup of coffee or picking up the phone and talking to someone can seem like a big risk. Because if you're wondering, what will I say to the other person? I have no value to add. They just have to listen to me, feeling miserable. It is risky. Picking up the phone and talking to somebody, I started with telling myself, okay, let me talk to somebody who knows what I'm going through, and to whom it's not a big deal. They don't judge me, but I do. It's linked to that self-forgiveness. It's linked to that quelling that voice of self-flagellation. It's really asking, so what, all the time. We live in a society where we are conditioned to think the best of the community first and ourselves second. So one often makes sacrifices in the interest of the family or friends or community, which is a noble thought. And this is something that I struggled with quite a lot. I had alluded to the person in my family who's a clinical psychologist. She made a deal with me. She said, do one thing in your life every day that makes you happy. It could be the smallest of things. And when that voice in your head tells you that you don't deserve it, don't listen to it. Which is very easy. Just pretend, visualize that you're turning down the TV volume on that voice. The more you spend on yourself in terms of time and investment of empathy and give yourself grace, the more you are able to be a better functioning person in society. And that also means pruning interactions with people who are not charitable to you. You will discover the core of your care circle, which is, the opposite of what you're doing, which is really nurturing and cultivating those 2 a.m. friends, as I call them, who will not say much, who, if you're venting, will listen, who will hug you, who will put an arm around you, who will buy you chocolate, and that's all there is to it sometimes. I had decided to remain child free because there are great challenges in dealing with depression. I know a lot of people with depression have children, but it's just not for me. I brought my partner into the conversation as well. Firstly, the two of us talked and decided why we had made this decision, and it made sense to us. And now we present a united front. So, any important decision that you make that involves a partner, I would make sure that the partner is on board with it. When you share your stories with other people, you will find that it's not unusual at all. Everybody experiments with their sanity. Tomorrow, if I have a breakdown, I can put myself in an auto, knock on their door, and say, "Help me." And they will do it, right? It's just knowing that, and it's also knowing the pinnacle of realization is also knowing that you can be that for the other person.